The sleek design of my wooden music stand is in great part due to its curvaceous legs, which are both sawn and steam bent. The music stand features a large music holder, which is hefty enough to hold a big music book and wide enough to hold two music sheets side by side. The holder is adjustable. Its bracket arm connects to the stand with a quick release cam clamp that allows the holder to be angled and also moved up and down over a small range. But probably the coolest feature of my music stand is its integrated guitar hanger. It's designed to accommodate just about any size guitar. Here's my parlor-size Santa Cruz guitar. And it'll also hold a number of other stringed instruments, including mandolins and ukuleles. To steam bend the music stand's legs, I use Rockler's steam bending kit and a plywood box that I built myself. The kit includes the basic steaming unit, which holds water and connects to electricity in order to power the heating unit that's inside that generates the steam. The steam is then sent through a flexible hose to the steam box itself. So the first step is, of course, to fill the unit with water. It holds a little more than a gallon, which is good enough to keep steam flowing for at least an hour. I filled it up to the line. Now I'm going to close it up, and I'm ready to attach the flexible hose. One end screws right onto the steam generating unit. Then the other end screws to a fitting that's supplied in the kit that you attach to a hole in the plywood steam box that you build. Once the hose is secured, we can go ahead and plug the unit in. It uses a standard IEC style cable that's also used for computer equipment. And it just plugs into regular 110 volt AC wall current. Now that that's all hooked up, I'm going to go ahead and flip the steam box around. And now I'm going to go ahead and elevate one end of the box. This is so that the condensed moisture created by the steam can drain out of a small hole that's drilled in the opposite end of the box. Just a little angle is good enough. I'm going to put an old can on the floor in order to catch the dripping condensed moisture from the steam. I use a digital thermometer with a probe, the kind that's used for barbecuing meat, in order to keep track of the temperature inside the steam box. It takes about 20 minutes or so for the temperature to come up to our desired operating temperature of 212 degrees. Now the wood I'm using here to demonstrate steam bending is a piece of alder that was kiln dried, so I've soaked the wood in water for 24 hours before putting it in the steam box. Notice I'm wearing oven gloves to protect my hands because the steam is very hot. Should be very careful because you can easily get burned. I'm going to set it on a rack inside the box and seal it up. I'm going to leave the leg in the steam box for about 45 minutes, which I time from when the thermometer comes back to 212 degrees. Once the time has elapsed, I'm going to quickly and carefully remove the leg and proceed over to my bending station, which I've set up with the bending form. Once again, I'm wearing the gloves because that piece is very hot and we want to get it onto the form as quickly as we can before it starts to cool in order to assure a smooth bending process. I'm going to clamp the bottom end of the leg to the form in order to anchor it. Notice also there are lines on the form that show the alignment of the leg. Once that's set, I'm going to use a quick action clamp somewhere in the middle of the piece to bow it down onto the form. And I'm going to align it to my lines I've drawn on the bottom part of the form there. Then I'm going to use a variety of other clamps set along the length of the piece that will press it down onto the form. Here I'm using pretty much all kinds of clamps that I have in my collection. Bar clamps and quick action clamps and deep throat clamps. The idea, though, is to get the entire leg flat against the form itself. And once that's done, you can go ahead and leave the form to cool down and the bend to set. Overnight is always good. When the wood is cool, you can remove all the clamps and take your bent leg out of the form. And when you bend the other leg, it's going to be clamped to the form in the opposite direction so that you end up with a mirror symmetrical pair of legs. Here we see our leg that's bending in both directions. Create that nice sleek curve for the music stand.